Good morning, student. In the last class, we have seen about the different phases of development, that is, development and underdevelopment coexist. Does the development creates haves and have-nots? Whether development helps some segment of the population more than the other, and there apparently we believe that development is freedom, and which is generally associated with modernization, creation of infrastructure, leisure, industrialization, computerization, transport and network, and all these things with regards to Western concept of development. But for post-colonial country like India, which faces the issue like the issue related with exploitation by the colonial power, marginalization of the people or citizen, social discrimination and regional disparity by the colonial power or colonial master. So all these things we seen. At the same time, with development we are seeing all the modern amenities, infrastructure in the city area. At the same time, the rural area and the slum area of the cities are lagging behind in terms of human development. We also see that with development, definitely there is a some segment of the society will get the benefit and fruits of development, while at the same time some marginalized section like scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, poor farmers, some slum dwellers, agricultural laborers are more suffering. Means they are moving towards the abject poverty and subhuman conditions. Among the marginalized class, females are the worst sufferers, and on the basis of this we just created a clear-cut image like development and underdevelopment will coexist. Some section will get the benefit and fruit of development, while the others are facing issues and more problems like in form of abject poverty. There is yet another interrelated aspect of development that has direct bearings on the deteriorating human conditions. It is mainly related with environmental pollution leading to ecological crisis. So with development, as we all knows that development occurs with industrialization, and as we set up different plants, industries, the byproduct of these industrialization and different development infrastructure will created a lot of ecological crisis in terms of air pollution, soil pollution, land pollution, water pollution, noise pollutions, and all these pertain to all these environmental pollutions leading to overall economic crisis, and all these led to tragedy of commons, but these have all threatened the existence of our society. So due to this environmental issue, environmental pollutions and ecological crisis, the existence of the society now comes under the questions, and subsequently the poor are being, mainly the have-nots or the marginalized class or the poor people, are being subjected to three interrelated process of declining capabilities. So these poor people, marginalized people, have the symptom in terms of declining capabilities. So social capabilities, so they have issues like social, they have declining capability in terms of social capabilities. Their social capabilities were declining. Why it is so? It is because due to displacement and weakening of their social ties. So these poor people have strength in the social ties, but because of this development activity they had to be displaced from their place of origin to somewhere else, and their local tribal culture will got displaced, their social ties will weaken, and this way their social capital or their social capability will overall decline. Same way environmental capability due to pollution. Definitely if there is any sort of pollution, the impact of that pollution will be on each and every corner of the society. अगर वाटर पॉल्यूशन होता है या किसी तरीके का एयर पॉल्यूशन होता है तो ऐसा तो नहीं है कि एयर पॉल्यूशन जिस the class who created the air pollution will be sufferer, all the section. कोई ज़रूरी नहीं है जिसने इंडस्ट्री लगाया वही सिर्फ सफ़र करेगा. एयर पॉल्यूशन हो रहा है तो इवन द पुअर पीपल हु डज नॉट हैव टू हैव एनी रिलेशन इन दिस industrialization, who does not have any relation in creating this air pollution, also suffers. So their environmental, the marginalized people or the poor people, environmental capability also deteriorates. Then the third deterioration is towards the personal capability, their personal health, their personal capabilities in terms of health will deteriorate with increasing incidence of diseases and accidents. So because of environment, because of industrial setup, some sort of accidents used to took place. One of the such big incident or one of such big accident is Bhopal gas tragedy, where the sufferers are the poor people itself. Same way some sort of disease will spread because of different water pollution, and the have-nots are the most sufferer in all these cases. So in turns the adverse effect of all these things is on their quality of life and human development. Present development has not been able to address the issue of social injustice, regional imbalances, and environmental degradation. So on all these fronts, that is on social fronts, on regional development, that is there is definitely regional imbalances. Some regions are more developed, some other are lesser developed. Society, overall society does not have justice with this development because some section will be lagging behind, and definitely there is ecological crisis, so environmental degradation is there. So present development will not going to address, is not addressing all these issues. On the contrary, it is being widely considered as a prime cause of social distributive injustice. So this development is basically the prime cause of social injustice and deterioration in quality of life and overall human development. ecological crisis as well as social unrest, all these things have been clear cut or primary happening because of this development. Instead of providing solution towards all these issues, this development activity will going to widening all these problems instead of providing any sort of solutions. So, does development creates, reinforce and perpetuate these crises? No, it is not so. It was thought to take up human development as a separate issue against the prevalent Western view of development. So, this development, this given development, this present time development is a Western view, and overall, in a post colonial country like India, we need to have a separate view, or we need to have a separate thought to take up human development, which this separate thought must consider development as a remedy to all these ills in form of ills like environmental degradation, regional imbalances, social injustice. So the new view or new thought regarding the human development will consider the development as a remedy of all these ills, including human development, regional disparity and environmental crisis. Concentrated efforts has been made to look at development critically at various time over the different period of time in the past, but the most systematic efforts towards the development was the publication of the first human development report, that is in 1990. This human development report, which is on the basis of some indicators like human development indicators, and UNDP, United Nations Development Program, is the nodal agency who used to publish this human development report. And since then, every year this human development report has been publishing year after year. And this report does not only define human development, it also makes amendments to the criteria, amendments to the changes in its indicator, but also ranks the different countries of the world on the basis of calculated score, as we discussed in the earlier chapter, that is score between 0 to 1. Score nearer to 1 will be considered most developing or most developed country. The score of the country or economy nearer to 0 will be considered a least developing economy. Human Development Report of 1993 says that progressive democratization and the increasing empowerment of the people are seen as a minimum condition for human development. So minimum condition is every country should have a sense of, at least if there is no democracy, even in that case, the country overall philosophy and the sense is towards the progressive democratization, means providing citizen and the people at the center of all the development activities and providing its citizen all the rights, human rights, etc. Moreover, it also mentions that development must be woven around people and not people around development. Earlier concept was people used to woven around डेवलपमेंट. फर्स्टली पहले क्या होता है, पहले डेवलपमेंट होता था, जीडीपी बढ़ेगा, एंड देन एज पर द ट्रिकल डाउन थ्योरी द बेनिफिट ऑफ दिस डेवलपमेंट विल रीचेस टू ईच एंड एवरी सोसाइटी. इकोनॉमी was the major concern according to earlier concept, but now development must be woven around people, placing people at the center. All the development activity must go through people or citizens. We already studied the concept, indicators, and approaches to human development in the last chapter. The method of calculating the index as well under the part A book, that is Fundamental of Human Geography. We already looked all these things. In this chapter, we will try to understand the applicability of these concepts and indicators to India. Means whatever we studied in the part A book, Fundamental of Human Geography, we will see the applicability or application of all those concepts and indicators in terms of India's perspective. So there is a questions. What is human development? So I want to firstly deal with it. The human development definition of human development is here itself. Human development is a process of enlarging the range of people choices. So enlarging the range of people's choices means choices available to the people will be widened. So human development is a process of enlarging the range of people choices, increasing their opportunities, and all these things with regards to three important key factors, that is increasing their opportunity for education, healthcare, and income. Education, healthcare, income, and empowerment, and covering the full range of human choices from a sound physical environment to economic, social, and political freedom. So all these things providing people more choices, more opportunity in terms of education, healthcare, and income, and empowering people, and all these things, providing all these things, covering the full range of human choices from a proper sound physical environment to economic, social, and political freedom. So all these things in sense of placing human being at the center, of all development activity, and providing them a full freedom, full opportunity by enlarging their choices. So this is all about the human development, the definition of human development. Enlarging the range of people choices is the most significant aspect of human development. The main thing is we need to make people capable, and once capable, just providing them more choices for development. So people choices may involve a host of other issues, but living a long and healthy life, to be educated, and have access to resources needed for a decent standard of living, including political freedom, guaranteed human rights, and a personal self-respect, are few of the important aspect or important issues or a minimum criteria to be fulfilled. And all these are considered some of the non-negotiable aspects of human development. So there may be lot of criteria, lot of aspects, but the minimum or the most non-negotiable aspects are providing each citizen a long, healthy life, education to all, access of resources needed to all for a decent standard of living, all the type of freedom, social, political, economic freedom, guaranteed human rights to all citizens, and their self-respects are the most considered non-negotiable aspects of human development. human development in India, that I will start. So according to, actually this is the figure, just see it, this is table 3.1, human development index, value of India and some other countries. So UNDP human development report 2016, economic survey according to 2016-17 itself. So as per this report, India with a population of around 1.2 billion. So right now actually it's according to 2011 census, this population, India has a population of 1.20 billion according to 2011 census, and with that population India is ranked 131 among 188 countries of the world in terms of HDI, Human Development Index, with the composite HDI value of, means out of the scale between the 0 to 1, India's score in terms of HDI is, so the composite HDI value of India is 0.624, and with this composite HDI value India finds herself grouped with countries showing medium human development. So this is the range, under the range of, actually in the previous chapter I already gave you the range, that is score of above 0.8 is considered very high, 0.7 to 8 high, and then lesser than 7, and between 0.5 to 0.7 is medium, and less than 0.5 is low. So India with this score is in the range of medium human development countries. Different rankings are there according to HDI value. Norway is ranked first amongst all countries of the world. Then comes Germany ranked 4th, USA ranked 10th, UK 16th, and so on. And over this scale India is ranked 131 with HDI value of 0.624. Just see the HDI value of Norway. Norway HDI value is 0.949. So different countries are there. Norway is a Scandinavian country. I just want to show you guys. Just wait over the map. Map I can show you. So Norway is a country here. Scandinavian country. Germany के ऊपर देखो. This is Norway. Then UK is this one. These are European countries. Then USA is this one. USA, Canada. Then Australia is also there in that list. So Australia is here. Australia, just beside is New Zealand. So all these countries are ranked higher than India. Norway, Germany is just south of Norway, that is in Europe. USA, UK, Russian Federation. This is entire, this upper portion, grey color is Russia, and this is Germany. Just below Norway and Sweden is Germany. Then different countries of world are there. Just see it. Sri Lanka is above us. Sri Lanka is under the category of high human development countries, which HDI value of 0.766 and ranked at 73. China is also above us with a HDI value of 0.738, ranked at 90th position. And then South Africa is also above us at 119th position. India is at 131th position. Bangladesh is below us. Pakistan is below us. So India is ranked 131 among the 188 countries of the world according to Human Development Index. Why India is so behind, we will discuss into the next class, into the detail that why is India, what are the reasons behind a low score of India in terms of HDI. So low score of HDI is a matter of serious concern, definitely. Why India is so behind, and that's why this is because of these concerns. Many voices has been raised, and some reservation has been expressed about the approaches as well as indicators selected to calculate the index value and ranking of different countries and states. So because of these things, lack of we called, or different voices raised told that we need to be, or different countries have to be very sensitive towards the historical factors, like actually this HDI lack on few of the things, like lack of sensitivity to the historical factors like colonization, imperialism, neo-imperialism, these things and their impact were not considered under the HDI, and we are raising voice towards it, so that these all things had to be calculated. At the same time, socio-cultural factors like human right violation, social discrimination on the basis of race, religion, gender, caste, social problem like crimes, terrorism, and the war, and the political factors like nature of the states, forms of the government, democracy or dictatorship, level of empowerment are some of the crucial factors in determining the nature of human development. So over these things we are on the back foot, whereas we are raising voice towards the issues like in calculating the value of HDI, the nodal agency has to look about the sensitivity to the historical factors, like India is long being a colonial, imperial and neo-imperial country. We are under different colonial power, imperial power. So hoping that in future we will get a better ranking if all these things have included in calculating the HDI. We are also working towards all these different negative issues lying in India, like socio-cultural factors, human right violation, social discrimination on the basis of race, religion, gender, caste, social problems. So to deal with all these things, we included reservation in our constitution itself. Then social problems, we are dealing with social problems like crime, terrorism, all these things, and we are hoping that in future we will get a better rank or better result. And because of all these things which are their factor in calculating the HDI value, we are placed so behind. Otherwise, if it consider only the economic thing, then we are definitely not far behind. So all these aspects have a special significance in case of India and many other developing country, and that's why many developing country are lagging behind on the basis of HDI rank and HDI score. So till that position, I will just start from the second paragraph of this part into the next class, like planning commission and different UNDP indicators we will discuss into the next class. Till that time, bye bye, see you in the next class. Bye.